All right, this is chapter 3, Success Stories, in the Business Mastery book. Again, you guys can go over this slide and find out what page each slide is on if you need to go along in your book. And if you really need to, you can pause it and kind of look at the pages and go back. I'll leave this up for a couple seconds. All right. There's some things we're going to go over. What is success? Does success lead to happiness? We're going to talk about some self-management for success. Then we're going to go on to barriers to success. So barriers could be your attitude, beliefs, or perceptions. We're going to learn how to avoid self-sabotage. Then we're going to have some tools for actualizing your goals. So we're going to create visualization, affirmations, try to break old habits, develop a more positive thinking. Then we're going to work on some time management principles. The Pareto principle, types of time needed to run a business, and the high priority activities. Next, we're going to look at tracking. This would be tracking key business indicators and trends. Then last is the art of risk-taking and motivation. We're going to learn some motivation techniques. Some key terms you guys are going to need to learn. Basically, everything that's written in bold is going to be important and could possibly be on a quiz. That would include acting as if, affirmations, attitudes, barriers, behavioral therapy, beliefs, clearing techniques, cognitive theory, continuing education, creative visualization, cross-lateral movements, defense mechanism, and delegate. We also have dissolving problems, habits, happiness, high priority activities, humanistic theory, inner critic, key business indicators, logistics, marketing, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, mental contrasting. We got motivation, negative conditioning, Pareto principle, perceptions, perfectionist, predetermined goals, procrastination, professional development, psychoanalytic theory, psychotherapy, reframing, and risk-taking. Oh, there's more. Self-management, self-motivation, self-sabotage, sentence completions, social cognitive theory, social learning theory, success markers, time management, tracking, trends, values. Work smarter, not harder. All right. I probably don't need to say that in the future, but there that is. What is success? Success is defined by a process that involves setting and achieving goals. And then, does success lead to happiness? Researchers are finding that happiness fuels success, not the other way around. So that's why some people, they have all the money, all the friends, everything, all the fame, but they're still not happy. Then you have like somebody who does something that they love for a living and they're successful and happy, right? So typical success markers would be gross income. Most of us, when we think of success, we think of having, the money to pay your bills and then some, right? Or, live above your means. This could be your profit or salary. Or we have other typical success markers like the number of years in business or years at your current job, any special or advanced techniques you might know. Your client base, the number of clients you see each week, or maybe the number of hours worked. Maybe you had a really good week and you had 25 clients, right? The amount of leisure time enjoyed. So, you can work, but also you need to find time to relax or do what, makes you happy. That's non-work related. Success could be also identified as the number of associates or employees working under you or with you. Your office location or how large it is, the ambience, the prominence on a local, national, or international level, so popularity. How to identify success markers. First, you're going to want to list those success markers. You want to refer to the values and exercises in the value exercises in chapter 1, right? Identify what's truly important to you. In terms of your overall life, then you can then determine your success markers. Only you can determine what success is for you. Other people might try to influence you, right? But as the saying goes, one person's junk is another person's treasure. So what somebody might think is successful, like for instance, maybe you're happy you got 10 clients, and then there's some people who are happy they got 30 clients that week. So everybody's success marker is different, and that's okay. You want to explore your happiness factor. What and who are the people, places, or the experience in your life from which you derive satisfaction? Sorry, I can't read. Make a list. You don't have to do this, but if you want to, you can make a list divided into 2 columns, personal and professional. How do these items influence your professional life on a personal satisfaction factor? And how do professional satisfaction items line up with your career purpose, priorities, goals, right? That were in the last chapter. Do you link happiness with success? Has one influenced the other at different times in your life? So go ahead and take a look at the list of career success markers. Is that list of things something that would make you happy? Are you committed to pursuing happiness to positively affect those markers? All right. Self-management. So they say the key to success is self-management. And this is, they say, artfully directing your life so they can easily and joyfully accomplish what you desire. So this is taking personal responsibility for every facet of your life, right? Increasing personal productivity and staying true to yourself. So here are some effective self-management components. You have to know your values, right? You have to clarify your purpose in life. You can do this by setting priorities and goals. You need to manage your time effectively. This is a big one. You can't just wing it, okay? And then you have to take business risks wisely. Sometimes it's not the right moment to take this risk, right? Sometimes you have to wait for a different opportunity or a better time. Stay inspired. You need to balance both your personal and your professional life, because if you have too much professional life and you're not feeding into the soul of your personal life, I'll say, you're going to be unhappy. You need to overcome barriers to your success. Then you need to commit to lifelong learning and professional development if this is something that you're serious about. So there are barriers that can keep you from being successful. A big one is the inner critic. We all know that you're just not good enough, or that you're not, doing your best and whatnot. And this can develop negative conditioning. So we need to tap into that inner critic and kind of feed us some positive affirmations, right? Think more positively, because there's always a way to turn things around or change things. Just because something didn't work how you wanted it to, maybe you can change it and, still have kind of an outcome that you were wanting, or maybe it's an outcome you weren't expecting that is actually a really good outcome for you. There's sentence completion clearing techniques we'll learn, and then procrastination. That's a big one. How do we overcome procrastination? We need to reframe. Find a different way to view the project at hand. Sometimes you just need to walk away, right? And then come back to it when you have a clear mind. Come up with a task breakdown, all right? Maybe you want a timeline of your projects, setting goals, target dates, and then you can kind of change things from that timeline if maybe you're behind or ahead of schedule, right? Delegate tasks to colleagues or employees if you have them. So that might be helpful. So here are some tips to overcome barriers. You want to clarify your values and operate from them. Do clearing work or therapy, right? Set goals and devote yourself to them. Maybe you want to do some positive affirmations or visualizations. Remember the picture board and stuff like that. Goals. Make a timeline. Become a calculated risk taker. It's okay to take risks. You don't have to be scared. Just know you have to calculate them. Just don't do it because you think it's a good idea at the moment. Work smarter, not harder. Be informed and learn from your past mistakes. If you don't learn from your past mistakes, you're going to keep making them. Right? And then you just beat yourself down because you're not good enough, or you're not successful and whatnot. Try not to be distracted by others or by your own delusions. Sometimes you can have goals that are very delusional, that are not attainable. See your detractors for what they are. Then you want to create a positive support system. So if you have a lot of negative Nancys around you, and I'm sorry if your name is Nancy, it's just a saying. Maybe you want to find a Facebook group or, a networking group of people in a similar field, or people who are small business owners, to just kind of help boost that support system. Always keep things in perspective and stay balanced. So here are some tools for actualizing goals. So create visualization. Instead of as if you would have that visualization that it is happening, right? Or positive affirmations. You are good enough. Or maybe you look in the mirror if you're that kind of person. Or you can say it in your head if you don't want to, be vocal about it. But just think, I am good enough, and I can reach my goals. Something like that. You can even, I think they have like apps and stuff that give you like positive affirmations every day. Look it up. I'm sure they do. So some affirmation techniques. Read your affirmation at least 3 times per day, they say. Write each affirmation 10 to 20 times in succession. Write your affirmations while speaking them aloud to yourself. Write your affirmations in first, second, and third person. For example, I, Sue, am healthy. You, Sue, are healthy. She, Sue, is healthy. She, Sue, is healthy. That's fun. All right, put on your telephone, the refrigerator. All right, write the affirmations on your phone, your fridge, your desk, mirrors, doors. I wouldn't recommend doors unless it's a piece of paper. Hey, to each their own. Just don't make it permanent. Over your bed, on your dashboard, whatever you need to do. Make bookmarks with your affirmations on them. That might be kind of fun as you get through each chapter in school. Right? Record your affirmations and listen to them as you drive. They probably even have podcasts you can do this, so it doesn't even have to be your own words, right? While you drive, exercise, or right before you go to sleep. You might want to meditate, right? Think about your affirmations while you meditate. Stand in front of a mirror, look at yourself while saying them. I am the GOAT, greatest of all time. Just kidding. All right, so continued. Let's take turns saying and accepting affirmations with a friend. If you have somebody you want to do this with, it might be fun. Grab a classmate, right? It might be something fun. You guys might want to, text somebody each day with a positive affirmation in your class. That sounds fun, right, girls? All right, and then, gents, if there's any men in future classes. Make flashcards with your affirmations and carry them with you. You can design or buy clothes with affirmations. Sing or chant them. Extra credit to anybody who writes an affirmation song. I'm just kidding. Actually, that would be awesome. Even extra credit if there's instruments involved. Create affirmation screensavers for your computer, phone, or tablet. So here's some examples, right? I manifest my power with integrity and love. I'm only going to read a couple of these. You don't need to read them all. Everything I need is already within me. I fully love and accept myself as I am. That's a big one. You need to love yourself. I am radiant. I'm a radiant, powerful being. There you go. There's some. You can read over these. I will leave it on the screen for you so you can read each one. If you need more time, pause it because I'm continuing. Here's some more. I'm creative in all that I do. I am aligned with the divine plan of my life. I am an exciting in a romantic relationship. Wow, I can't read. I am in an exciting romantic relationship. Woo, baby. I'll let you read these. If you need longer, you can pause it. We're moving on. Let me go back. Okay, mind, body, spirit. Now we're on to career and finance affirmations. So this is what I think a lot of you will need as you graduate and get your license after passing your NBLEX, right? The more abundance I have, the more I have to share. My creativity is flowing and focused, right? My career supports me in being who I am. Every dollar I circulate returns to me multiplied. That's kind of like the saying, you have to spend money to make money, right? Okay, I'll let you guys read a little. If you need more time, pause it. And going forward. So, breaking habits. According to the Duke University study, Habits of repeat performance. They say 40% of your everyday actions are habitual. A lot of habitual beliefs and behaviors can sabotage your efforts to be successful. So it takes conscious thought and a lot of repetition to create the neurological pathways to alter old habits and replace them with your new habits. I forgot what they say. What is it, like 30 days or something of repetition will create a new habit, something like that. And it's also very easy to create bad habits to get out of those good habits, right? Like, once you stop going to the gym, it's really hard to go back. But when you're going, it's good, right? So the basic cross-lateral exercise. So here's a fun exercise you guys can do. If you don't do it, I won't know. But let's try it. Give yourself plenty of room and take off your shoes. Start by standing up and swinging your left foot over your right foot. Then swing your right foot over your left foot. Repeat this several times until you establish a rhythm. So left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, right? Now add your arms. Swing them in the opposite direction of your legs to establish your rhythm. It's actually just really good for getting your blood and your lymph circulated. Next, you follow your feet with your head so both are moving in one direction while your arms are going the opposite still. If you lose a pattern, stop everything, then start with the feet and build the movement from scratch. So isn't that fun? What do we got? So you guys can also, that's kind of like something to just, redirect your brain. They also have tapping that you can do that you can tap on one leg, tap on the other, back and forth, right? That helps just like reset the brain. It actually really helps with anxiety too, to do something if you don't want to full-fledged stand up. But this kind of just gets you into thinking about your actions that you're doing and not really anything else, just kind of clearing your mind, right? So more positive thinking. So there is motivation research by Gabriel Oettingen, whatever, on mental contrasting. And this shows it's not enough to simply dream about our goals. We have to visualize the obstacles and develop motivation to overcome them. So you have goals. For instance, you want to buy a house. This has nothing to do with professional. This is personal. You want to buy a house. Well, you can't just do that. You have to, one, make sure you got enough credit. Make sure you have a means of a down payment. So there's goals you have to make. Maybe you have to work a little extra or really cut costs and focus on building kind of that savings for the down payment, right? So think about obstacles. Maybe you don't have good credit. Well, you need to fix that and then eventually, build your credit back up and so on. So that's just, something that has to happen. You have to get over those obstacles to achieve your goals. Solving problems, all right? So you can have sentence completion exercises that you're using. That's an excellent method for releasing energy, right? Associated with negative conditioning. Time management. Using your time well is based on realizing how much your time is worth, all right? So you want to choose the activities that are top priority for you to achieve your goals, right? What is your attitude toward time? What thoughts and feelings do you have concerning time, and how did your family relate to time? Do you respect others by taking the time to take care of yourself? And do you view time as your friend or your enemy? Dun, 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 dun. So, time management principles. Get it together. It's really important. So, here's some effective time management benefits. You're then able to do the same work in less time, all right, and increase productivity. By doing this, you can, potentially earn more money. It'll decrease your stress and your frustration, which frees up a little more time for more planning. It also frees up time you can devote to your family or friends, whatever's important to you. Also allows you more time with hobbies and recreation. This is kind of the main goal, right? To have a job where you can pay your bills, have a little extra or a lot extra, who knows, and also have time to do things you love with those that you love. Another one is improving your health and experiencing increased joy and success. All right, the Pareto principle states that 80% of your results are produced by 20% of your activities. And vice versa, right? 20% of your results are produced by 80% of your activities. So this is the fundamental basis of time management. These techniques are effective because most people spend a lot of time in activities that are not efficient with the use of their time. Here's that little chart, right? So you want to focus on the 20% of those activities that give you 80% results. So work harder, not smarter, right? Plan like a pro for show. Invest at least 10 minutes daily to plan. Focus on A goals first, so priority goals first. Throughout the day, ask yourself, is this the best use of my time? Probably not with some of us, but it's okay. I know from experience that sometimes you want to do the tasks that are more exciting to you first, not the ones that are most important. For instance, I have a lot of laundry, and I'm doing this instead. But it's okay, right? This is more important, right? All right, so set specific times for taking and returning phone calls. If you just let yourself be available 24/7, it gets exhausting. I do have a rule that I try, it doesn't always work, to not take like business calls or anything like that past like 7, right? Preferably past our closing time, but set some boundaries, right? Set a schedule and follow it. That's important, Then it becomes a habit, and then you're used to your schedule. People are asking, do you have availability this time for a massage? Or maybe your friends or family want to do something. If you have a schedule and you follow it, you know exactly when you are available for whatever task. Review your master goal list at least once a week. And at the end of the day, create the next day's goals and activities list. So here are the top 12 time management tips. Review goals and activities daily. Do most challenging work during your peak performance cycles. All right, so that you don't get discouraged. You might want to group your similar activities together. So knock them all out together, Try to discourage interruptions, but also take a little break if you need it, right? So that's towards the end. Take a stretch break every 20 minutes. Learn to say no. You don't have to be a yes man. Track important data and activities. Try to avoid procrastination. Respect your body and mind cycles. If you're feeling really run down and tired, lay down, get away from all the screens. Just meditate, whatever. Set your phone alarm for a half hour and just, don't do anything, right? Delegate when possible if you have help or employees where you can delegate certain tasks. Keep supplies stocked and easy to access. Here's your stretch break every 20 minutes. Set alarm to limit time eating activities like internet surfing. So that's a big one people waste a lot of time with, and we're all guilty, is online social media accounts, all that, TikTok videos, reels, whatever, just like mindless viewing, all right? Or TV watching, for instance. So try to limit that to get your stuff done. Types of time needed to run a business. So, business owners who intend to achieve optimal results need to allot time for different tasks. That would be planning, working on clients, managing the business, continuing ed, and so on. So, it is highly recommended to block out times during your schedule or, whenever you can, to get certain tasks done so that you're not, scrambling to do them at the last minute. You can invest at least 10 to 15 minutes a day to planning what is crucial and managing your time. And then set a regular schedule for your business. Maybe you don't want to work on Mondays, but Mondays, maybe not like hands-on work. Maybe Monday mornings or afternoon is your business managing day. All right. So it is important, or maybe just like an hour or two. All right. Whatever you feel like you need, set that time to the side for that specific task. For me, I like to, in the mornings when I'm drinking my coffee, kind of sit and go over, the schedules, see if there's any marketing I need to do, and it's just something that I actually find very fun. So you guys can kind of do something like that if that's what you're into. Types of time needed to run a business. You need to have time for managing business logistics, right? Working with clients, professional development, idea development, marketing, having fun, right? And personal wellness. So all of this is important to success. Work smarter, not harder is a fun saying. So this is the basis of productive planning. All right. Effective goal setting is the basic basis for productive planning. The major element in planning, especially daily planning, is ranking things by priority to least important, right? After you have written your daily plan, decide which activities are imperative, important, and desirable. I didn't mean to click that so fast. So there's that. So you can decide what needs to be done now, what was supposed to get done already, what needs done tomorrow or next week or next month or whatever. Managing business logistics. Schedule appropriate time for day-to-day tasks. This would be laundry, phone calls, supervising, purchasing supplies, etc. Another aspect of managing your business has to do with respecting yourself and the time that you give yourself, all right? It's also important to, do bartering or trade services or get wellness services yourself. But remember, before you do any type of bartering, ask yourself if you would spend money on that product or service if you had the cash. If not, don't trade. So that's a big thing with bartering. If you feel like you're not getting the value of their service that you give them, maybe that's not a good trade, okay? For instance, let's see here. My hair. Maybe my massages 1 hour is $95. All right. And then maybe you have a client who's a hairstylist and she's like, oh, we should trade services. and you trade with her and it ain't a good do. You realize, wow, I have a better service that I'm offering her than she is offering me. Or maybe she cancels on you all the time, last minute, right? Because at the trade, so she feels, I'm not making money anyhow. It's not important. So think about this before you decide, yeah, let's trade. It's a great idea. You might want to try their services while paying for them first to see if it's something worth your while. And for them, maybe it's not worth their while, right? Working with clients. The majority of your time is spent providing client services, right? Your ability to effectively schedule appointments greatly impacts your success and your stress level. I highly recommend getting an online scheduler, right? You want to allow sufficient time between your clients while not having large blocks of unproductive time. So most people, the standard time between massages is about 15 minutes. If you are doing everything yourself, including checking out, that might not give you enough time. Maybe you want to do 30 minutes. Some people feel like that's not enough time. They give themselves an hour. It just really depends on how many clients you want, how busy you want to be, and so on. All right. One way to simplify scheduling is to set up standing appointments with regulars, and this is on here, but allow them to book online. Professional development. It is vital to your career growth to do continuing education. All right, this helps broaden your knowledge, right, in certain areas. It helps you develop technical skills and business skills. So it doesn't have to be CEUs just on massage therapy. It could be CEUs on business management or business marketing. Some ways to do this are read magazines, books, take classes, attend seminars, watch videos, do networking with other businesses, right? And there's a lot of ways you can continuously learn. And then it says it's also helpful to be assessed periodically. So this is having your colleagues assess things for you, right? Or maybe doing a survey for your clients to see how you're doing, right? Idea development. Developing ideas is one of the most exciting and creative aspects of a business, right? You have to be open to new opportunities. So hear people out, right? Maybe brainstorm ways to streamline your procedures, right? So you can find methods to reduce your effort, right? Hire employees, sell products, right? Subcontract out work. And then you can take a percentage of the fees. So there's ways that you can streamline procedures and make money by working less hard. Create ways in which you work with more than one client at a time. Now, this isn't always something that can happen in our field. So you might want to, it says group sessions. I wouldn't really say that is a good idea, but hey, to each their own. Give seminars. Or maybe the group session is you doing an event or a special where you are working one-on-one with a couple and teaching them how to just do a basic massage for a loved one, right? You can even publish articles and books. I've done an infant massage class where I showed new moms how to massage their infant. So there are, and if you have multiple people coming into that seminar, we'll just say it's $10. You have 5 people, that's, $50 that you got by, not doing hands-on per se, working on one person. Maybe you want to do $20. You got 5 people, that's $100, that you just got. So keep it interesting. Marketing your practice is vital to your success. All right. And this is something that a lot of people neglect doing, which I think it's crazy because we have the internet now and it's so easy to advertise yourself and what you offer now. Marketing is necessary during all phases of your business. All right, when you first start, you may spend more hours marketing than actually getting clients. That's okay. It's critical that you invest at least 15% of your work time in marketing once you start getting people in. Because you'll have clients that come and go. So, for the clients that aren't repeat clients with a standing appointment, uh, you have to fill those other time slots. You might have someone who's a one and done. Maybe they're visiting, or maybe they just hurt and they wanted a massage once and, they feel a little better and they'll call you in 3 years when their neck, is tight again. So just make sure that you market, market, market. Have fun with it. When your desire for success is strong, it's easier for you to have fun while doing it, right? Think about the psychology of planning something you look forward to. We'll say a trip, right? Remember to balance your professional goals with your personal goals. Be sure to include fun in your life every day. So this should be something that's exciting to you. Not something you dread. That's why we're all back in school, right? To do something that gives us purpose or something that gives us happiness. Personal wellness. Take care of yourself, all right? Before you can take care of someone else. It's easy to get caught up in your business and be there for others and leave no time for you, right? So take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever you need to do. Create a support system for your business and your personal life. It could be the same people. It could be separate people for each. And then remember, stress influences your time. So try to relieve your stress. So I think personal wellness is very important to happiness overall. So high priority activities are 20% that produce 80% of results, right? So your high priority activities are the 20%, right? Use the high priority activities exercises. Sorry about that. To begin concentrating your time and energy on items you've rated as being the most crucial to your success. Maybe top of the line would be signing up for an online scheduler. Right? You already have a location in mind. Maybe that's what you got to do, right? Tracking. Tracking can help you anticipate your problems, so you can take the steps you need to avoid them or modify the direction of the trend, right, to something that you like more. Tracking methods for key business indicators are varied, and the best method depends on what works easily for you. So be consistent. An essential component in making a business plan work. So tracking is essential. So here are some things you might want to track. Some useful items. Client demographics. So this will change greatly on the area you massage in. For instance, maybe you're in LA, right? Everybody's fit and healthy. So you might want to target sports massage or something like that. Maybe you're in an area where there's a lot of business person or, large businesses. You might want to target them. Or women, target them. Maybe you want to work with seniors. You can target them. So find what you want your primary demographic to be. What's the total number of active clients you have, or maybe inactive clients that you might want to reach back out to, or see if they've moved, because then you can take them off your email list or your online scheduler. All right. How many clients you see on average a day, and what type of clients are these? All right. I notice for me, a lot of our clients are female and they are either teachers or work in the medical field. The session time spent per client. So maybe you notice that you're not doing a lot of 30-minute massages and most of them are 60 minutes. Then you can think of, do I want to offer 30 minutes? Right? Think of the time spent per client and adjunct support or time between your sessions. The type of techniques utilized. So what techniques are you using? What's working best? What are people booking? Number of sessions per client, or your average cost of total treatment plan. How your clients heard about you. This is a big one. You want to know how they're hearing about you, whether it's online, Google, right? Facebook, referral. Maybe you'll have a referral program for someone who sends their loved one to you. And then those referrals can generate marketing campaigns. So time spent in all business activities. Where is the time being allotted? Think about your total income. You can do this daily, weekly, monthly, whatever. And then write down all your total expenses so you kind of have an idea. So track all that stuff, or most of it. So trends. As you work to build a thriving practice, keep up to date with the latest trends, right? This requires paying attention to both consumer trends as well as industry trends. So if you do trend watching, it can help identify a unique new service, right, in the marketplace. And then you can start targeting those, right? Know where you're standing in relation to others in the industry. All right. Is somebody down the street offering an awesome new service that's trendy? What are they charging compared to your rates? And how can you best protect your business interests? So it's really important to kind of, look around. Don't necessarily copy somebody. But maybe you might want some ideas from that other business nearby. Tracking chart for marketing. So if you want, you can kind of do when you first start off, keep track of the marketing. See how many clients come in from, we don't do a lot of newspaper ads these days, but maybe you will. From client referral, a professional referral. Maybe you have a network with a chiropractor in town. All right, maybe you're doing public speaking, right? So there's a lot of different ways you can market and track the marketing. Here's a weekly income tracker. So if you have products, you can sell products, and then services, and then you kind of see how much money you made on each day, for a service and a product. If you notice, maybe there's a day, we'll look at Tuesday, for instance, that's lowest in products. Maybe Tuesday will be the day you offer 10% off things, right? Or Thursday, we're looking at Thursday, and the services, you're seeing under 200 clients. Or, I'm sorry, under $200 for that day. Why? Was your morning not filled? So if it wasn't, maybe you need to do advertising for stay-at-home moms, right, where the kids are of school age now. So now they have nothing to do but, clean up the house, and, the family's all gone for a couple hours. Or maybe that's the day you want to market retired individuals. And then you'll see Saturday's pretty good for all aspects. All right, so Saturday's a big money day overall. You might not need to do anything. All right, the art of risk taking. The two major elements that influence your ability to successfully manage tasks are the level of comfort you have in experiencing new or unusual situations and your self-esteem. So put yourself in situations that require you to problem solve. Start with low-risk situations and move up from there to get yourself to a level where you feel more comfortable tackling the greater risks. The continual enhancement of your self-image is vital to cultivating risk-taking behavior. So begin with self-positive talk. The do's and don'ts of risk-taking. To the left. Or this is all do's. Just kidding. Have a life plan with clear goals, right? I'm going to read some of these and then you can pause it, right? Ask questions and research the situation. Be flexible. Follow through and give your best. Ask for support. So go ahead and pause it. You can read all these. I'm moving on. Here's the don'ts. Don't be unrealistic. Don't be a perfectionist. Don't rush. Don't be afraid to cut your losses and move on. And don't combine too many risks at once. Again, I'm going to have you pause if you want to read the rest. Because I'm moving on, baby. Motivation is about satisfying your desires and needs. The major theories of motivation are often described as behavioral, cognitive, psychoanalytic, social learning, social cognition, I can't read, and humanistic. Whew, that was rough. Sorry, guys. So behavioral, cognitive, psychoanalytic, social learning, social cognition, and humanistic. Right? The behavioral points of view is based on observable behavior. So remember the Pavlov's dog experiments where they did the meat powder. Have you guys heard of that in psychology? They put meat powder in their mouths and the dogs would salivate when they heard the bell. And then it got to the point where they wouldn't put the meat powder in after they rang the bell, and they would ring the bell and the dogs would salivate, right? So that's behavioral. A cognitive approach is founded on the belief that making meaning is key to motivation and focus on the impact of structure and function of information processing. All right, psychoanalytic theory presumes all action and behavior results from internal biological instincts. Then we have social learning. All right. This is behavior that is motivated by observing consequences others experience. Social cognition proposes that the environment, an individual's behavior, and the individual's knowledge, emotion, and cognitive development can influence each other to determine your motivation. Then you have your humanistic view, which focuses on personal growth, interpersonal relationships, and believing that people behave out of intentionality and values. So you have your Maslow's hierarchy of needs. All right. This is one of the most well-known researchers in the field of humanistic motivation. All right. And the hierarchy of motivational needs has 5 divisions. So let's look at it. And also he edited it. There's 8 now. So here's the hierarchy of needs. So the bottom says your psychological need is the most important. And then there's safety, social, esteem, and so on. So obviously bottom is what you need the most of, right? The 2 most common motivators are fear and incentive. And both have serious shortcomings. Fear motivation is the oldest, easiest, and universally least effective means of motivation. Right? It forces you to act out of fear, of the consequences. Incentive motivation promises a reward for behavior, but rewards have diminishing returns. So the most effective motivation is self-motivation, which is inspired by the pure joy of the accomplishment. So here's 10 ways to sabotage your motivation. Not having written goals. Setting unattainable goals. Agreeing to take responsibility for goals you don't believe in. Or setting goals in such a way that they take a long time to accomplish. And you're not having any tiny little successes along the way, right? So that's very discouraging. Establish important goals that conflict with your values and aspects of your life. So don't do this stuff. Continued. Withhold rewards on big projects until they're fully complete. Celebrate the small feats, right? Refuse to acknowledge your success. You have to know, I did this, I'm awesome. You know, like, I feel good about this. Maintain a negative attitude about yourself and abilities. And your goals and so on. So don't be negative, man. Ignore your mental, physical, or emotional well-being. So that's a way to sabotage. And listen to the skepticism of your friends, family, colleagues, etc. It's okay to take advice, but if it's just negative, you know, just don't listen to it. So here's some highlights. I will go through the slides. You guys can go ahead and pause them. I know this video is really long, so find happiness that brings success. All right, self-management is key to success, right? I'm just saying it quick. Create visualizations and affirmations. Create good habits and good routines. Try cross-lateral movements, all right, to stimulate learning centers in the brain to break routines, right? And then your Gabrielle Ottengen's technique, WOOP, wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan, right? Maybe do some sentence completion exercises and release negative energy. Manage your time. All right, remember 20% of activities result in 80%. Hold on. 20% results are produced by 80% of activities, right? Daily planning is great for managing time. Focus on high priorities. Track business indicators. Watch for trends in the market. Think of successful managing risks and how to avoid them, right? And then the major theories of motivation would be behavioral, I can't word, cognitive, psychoanalytic, and so on, right? We talked about the hierarchy of motivational needs. And the two most common motivators are fear and incentive. And that self-sabotage is a major barrier. And there you go. Just under an hour. Till next time.